languages. That was, but that wasn't that much hard because my sister was always already studying there like for 2 years. So, and I lived with my uncle, so and sister. So that wasn't that much hard, but no, for me that was fine. And when we moved to Shymkent, everything started like again, new school, like new community. I think it was problematic, not in the sense of the moving, but it was problematic not for me but for my parents, I guess. I was just what I had to do is just studying and to meet new people and to get used to it. But what they went through is like, so first of all we built new house for us, then they had to find jobs, so that was a struggle because for for a military man, you cannot just find a job. Like there will be, you can't find a job on your specialty. There will be a brain waste thing. No. And as for my mother, the same thing. She was a teacher of Kazakh language and literature, but that's not the relevant topic here, but even as for a school teacher, it's not easy to get the job if you don't have like right people there. So it wasn't worth it. So in the end, my mother ended up to be, let's say, call it an individual entrepreneur. So she runs her shop now, and my father is a manager in somewhere. That's it. But first, let's say 5 years, they were like harsh for them.
Okay, the next question is, how do you think, what was the main reason for both countries to fight for this piece of land?
Piece of land, okay. That's all right, let's consider the piece of land. Actually, as far as I know, there were like historical, political and economic reasons for that land, because the land where the village was based on the kolkhoz, which was how to say, focused on cattle breeding, not cattle but sheep. So everything, the village was built on this kolkhoz, let's say, and the neighboring villages, they were doing, I guess, they were growing cotton. As I remember, there were like lots and lots of lands with cotton, but we had like nothing to do with cotton, because everything was about sheep there. And so I guess it was not economically suitable or appropriate to leave this piece of land in Kazakhstan, but it was left to Uzbekistan. And actually this is a very, let's say, tricky question, because those territories were, let's say, interchanged or switched from one country to one USS state to another one again and again. There were like 4 or 5 times So in the end, it like maybe it had like some arbitrary character. I don't know actually. Perhaps economic reasons.
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
Okay. What are the thoughts of other villagers with whom you discussed about the situation, if you, of course, keep connection with them?
Yeah, of course I do. Oh, first, by the way, the in the village, most people were of my kin, let's say, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So of course I have connection with them, and most of them now live in southern Kazakhstan,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like the community is there, still there. So you visit them, they visit you. You go to their like I don't know, parties, marriage,
Mm-hmm.
some stuff like that. Well, my parents do that. I don't. So whoever I talk to from that village, they're so nostalgic about that. I don't know why. I was nostalgic in the beginning because like the realities that we faced in Kazakhstan was harsh because we didn't know anything like that before.
Mm-hmm.
Life was very, very good for us for some reasons. But here we started everything from the scratch. That was hard. That's when I guess I was nostalgic, but then everything went fine, and now I think I live now better than before. But most people don't agree with me. They say, wow, like Amangete was the best. Do you remember this one? Do you remember that place? I don't know. They are quite nostalgic, first of all. The second thing is, I don't know why, but they blame Uzbekistan. They
That's
say, yeah, they blame Uzbeks brought soldiers first. Uzbeks built border first. Uzbeks didn't give our village to Kazakhstan, but they could. But Kazakhstan could take it. I don't know. I mean, Kazakhstan couldn't manage to do that. Anyway, yeah, they always blame Uzbeks. They don't like Uzbeks actually. Oh, what else? What was the question again? Sorry.
I just want to know about thoughts of other villagers.
Yeah, most people say that they lived better in village than here, because like we did, everyone like started like in a new communities, new jobs, new people. Of course, it's hard. So that's I guess that's why you feel nostalgic. You think, oh, if nothing changed, I would be happier. I don't think so.
Yeah, past times always seems to be better.
Yeah.
Actually, in our memories.
But in our case, it was really better, because when you live on the borderline, it gives you some privileges. Yeah, of course, for example, everyone like could understand like Uzbek language, knowing, I mean, it is also a language, even if it's Uzbek. Not all people understand Uzbek because they have very, let's say, beautiful movies actually. And songs. No, we grew up listening to their songs, watching their films, because we didn't have many Kazakhstani channels, TV channels. I mean, we watched Uzbek channels and everything like that. And what else? We learned Uzbek history also. Actually, Uzbek films are better than Kazakh ones, I should tell you. And I loved watching films. I mean, I loved it more than I do now. So I would watch like all night films on TV or DVD, I don't know, something like that. And they were in Uzbek. Because that's just a pleasure, you know. Uzbeks are very, very good at how do you call it? Dubbing. Dubbing. So they give voices to the characters. they're very good at that. So you just feel the movie, not like you. That's it. So that's why it was better, and the climate maybe that's just because it was our motherland, and everything was perhaps tastier there, because we used to buy the, let's say, vegetables, fruits, and stuff like that from Uzbekistan. And Uzbekistan is, if you have like double life, if you work in Kazakhstan and live in Uzbekistan, that is great actually. You know? That's really great, because the Uzbek currency is really like low. It has no value. So you take like, I don't know, 100,000 tenge, it may turn into like million sums in Uzbek, and and everything is so cheap in Uzbekistan, you know, especially food, and it's very tasty because they do it themselves. Our people are not so good actually. You can't compare them with Uzbek ones. And what else? In my case, why I can be nostalgic about Uzbekistan, because I didn't see much of Kazakhstan.